Hi, I'm Andy Torin. I'm the Jiu-Jitsu Director for the Goju Shorty Systems. This is Matt McBride, instructor at Evolution Martial Arts Academy in Sparks, Nevada. Today we're going to be working on an armbar series taught to me by Professor L.L. Carey of Champion Martial Arts in Reno, Nevada. It's an instructional series. It's a way to flow from one armbar to the other. You've got to start with any kind of a takedown. It could be a wrist takedown or a hip throw. We're just going to start with the hip throw here. Sweep. Immediately you want to move into torso control. You want to drop all your weight on those ribs and head control here. Pull him in tight. You want him up sideways, not on his back. If he's on his back, he's got more room to move. But if you provide pressure from the back and from the front as you're pulling up, that's going to help immobilize him for the second it takes to get down. As you move down, sit your butt on his shoulder, and I want to pull the whole way. I don't want to allow any slack in this arm. I want to pull this back the entire way. Now you'll notice I haven't put the arm bar on yet. If I drop down into this, there's a chance of injuring him. So I want to allow some slack here while we're practicing. I've got pressure against his ribs, pressure against his head. I want to use this foot if I can for some kind of arm control, but maintaining pressure on the head and the ribs, and squeeze with your knees. You want to be up a little past 90 degrees in relation to his body, pressure down on his head, pull this tight, squeeze those knees. Second armbar, you just move that foot across, again, help maintain that arm control, pressure on the head, pressure with squeezing the knees together. Third, I'm going to use this to cock his head across. I'm going to use my shin to push that head up and over. Crimping the spine helps weaken his control, helps weaken his arm. So pulling this tight, squeezing the knees, pushing against his head, arm control with this foot. Fourth one, I'm going to kick here to turn him over. Here, push him and slam. Pressure down on the head, pull with that arm, and thumb out for my hip. That's my point of leverage, is my hip still. Next armbar, push this across again, cocking that head. I want to push that head as far up and away as I can and pull that arm tight. I don't want any space to allow any space between his shoulder and my body. Next, roll over my stomach. Now this one is really tight and you have to be very careful. So as I roll over, I'm just going to allow a little room. You see I'm up on my elbow just for his safety. I'm putting pressure between his thumb on the mat and my stomach. I don't want to go too much farther than that. Next, I'm just going to pull up both feet here, pulling this through. Next, slide this out, yank him into a choke here between my thigh and my calf. Still maintaining my thumb out and pressure against my hip. Next, he's got to know what's coming up. You see his arm is up like this, because I'm going to roll backwards. And if I roll backwards and his arm is in the way, his shoulder could be in trouble. So he knows what's coming. I know what's coming. I make sure his arm is in a good position. And I just roll myself backwards. And I'm back into number two, looking for that arm control. Now we know at one point, he's going to be trying to curl this arm in. And sometimes he's stronger than I am. So as he curls in, I might let him and move right into that figure four. Again, I don't want to fight him, especially if he's stronger. As he's pulling that in, I just go with what he wants to do and grab that. Still want to maintain head control, squeeze those knees together. Here's my figure four. 2 straight wrists, that's really important. A common counter is for him to grab his other hand and try to keep me from yanking this. So I have a bunch of different options. One, I could take this bottom hand, snake it underneath, 2 straight wrists, torque it in here. Next, as he's got that, take this top hand, same thing, snake it underneath, 2 straight wrists, torque it in that way. Third, I can grab the bottom arm from here, pull this in, and go for my armbar here. And last, as I pull this in, get this out of the way, snake into a triangle. Again, my armbar elbow is going to be opposite my line of leverage. I'm going to squeeze this in tight, pull the head down. And that's it.